What's going on, guys? Matt here. So today we're looking at the Cold Steel Silvereye. Maybe not one you've heard of, maybe not one that's as popular as some of their more well-known models, but one that I think deserves a bit of attention. So we're looking at the Cold Steel Silvereye today. Before we continue, I want to remind you guys to like and subscribe. Hopefully going to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year. That's kind of the goal. Maybe a lofty one, but we're going to go for it. Anyway, thanks so much for keeping up with the channel, like and subscribe and all that. So we're going to do some size comparisons, talk about specs, what I like, what I don't mind, what I don't like, and then close the video off on whether or not I'd recommend it. So let's just do a couple size comparisons. So let's compare it to kind of a brother in the Cold Steel lineup, 8010, very similar in size on here, same size blade, a little bit more length on that 8010 handle right there, but very similar size knives. Though, if you're looking at kind of thickness, that's a lot more stout right there. So, but similar in size. Another blade that's kind of similar in size, Spyderco Endura stainless. And any Endura, really, going to be similar in size. So that'll be enough for size comparisons. Let's talk about specs real quick. So we're looking at a 4-ounce blade overall, relatively lightweight, 3.5 millimeter stock on that blade. Handle length 4 7/8 inches, so that's how long, closed the handle will be. And that is obviously made of carbon fiber. S35V in steel, like a lot of Cold Steel folders. Blade is 3.5 inches. Overall is 8 3/8 inches. And is obviously drop point. To pick this up, usually you're looking at about 140 bucks. That's generally the going price for the Cold Steel Silvereye. So let's talk about what I like. Well, I really like the look. I think that this is a very uncommon looking blade, and not just because of the carbon fiber, but because I think this blade has a lot of design elements to it. I really like the clip on that top, and I like how that drop point comes down. I also like that kind of thumb area, you could say, maybe where your thumb rest area. That's a good way to put it. Kind of where that deployment hole is. So and then obviously the carbon fiber is very pretty, very good looking, and that's true carbon fiber. That's not just like a print on the top or anything. So obviously makes it a really lightweight blade, and just really quite good looking. Let me know if you guys think this is a really good looking blade. I feel that it's not as well known as it should be, if not just solely for looks. I think it's a really pretty blade. So I touched on that blade real quick, but I do want to say this is a really utilitarian blade. Quite a stout blade, going to be really strong. And that's one of these blades that I think does a really good job of kind of meeting that balance of being very handsome, but also being very stout. The triad locking mechanism, really quite a stout blade on that. So this is going to handle whatever you need it to, and it's going to handle it like a champ. It's going to look good while doing it. So I like that about this, and I do like that blade. And I just do like how durable it is for kind of how good looking it is. I think that a lot of blades kind of lose that, they're really good looking, but maybe they're like a thin liner lock. They kind of miss out on that. So anyway, all right. I like the triad lock as well. Just not a ton to say about it, to be honest, but there's a bunch of blades with Cold Steel's lineup that have it, and it's just never failed me. Have I had other knife locks fail me? Yeah, it's rare, but a liner lock and, others have failed me before. This has never failed me, Triad. It's just outstanding. I really like how lightweight this blade is as well. 4 ounces is really good. I like that blade size to ounce ratio, and this is close. It's half an ounce off, but I think that, quite for how robust it is, how strong of a blade it's going to be, how good looking it is. 4 ounces is, right on the money. That's a really good weight for this blade. And then obviously I like the materials. S35, probably my favorite knife steel. Just such a good balanced steel, not difficult to sharpen, very rust resistant, has adequate toughness. Even in some fixed blades, I think it's worth using. And then the carbon fiber. Yes, they're smooth, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But these finger divots, which normally I wouldn't like, these actually index my hand really, really well. This might be one of those blades you want to get your hand on before you buy it, just because it has those finger grooves. But that really locks you in, and I don't feel like this is sliding out, even though, carbon fiber tends to be relatively slippery. Okay, let's move on to what I don't mind. So Cold Steel uses this hole opener and a couple other blades. One is the Con. I'm not sure if the Con is still in their lineup. Let me grab it real quick from my case. And you'll notice I did something to it. Yeah, I removed it. So this might be one of those blades that you want to remove that thumb stud hole and kind of use it just like a Spyderco deployment hole. It works just as well that way. This doesn't work like this. This works perfectly fine. I can open this even with the flick. You know, I can open this with like that too. You know, it's really not a big deal, or just like that. But I really would just prefer that plain Spyderco hole. You know, I'm not sure if there's a patent around that or something. Maybe that's why they do that way, but I'd prefer it like that. Why? Because that way you can slice with this whole blade, and that's one of the big things about Spyderco is this whole blade you can slice with. There's no thumb stud getting in the way. It just kind of creates a fully usable blade. This kind of doesn't do that. You know, with most of this, it'd probably be fine. But in my opinion, this adds a lot of surface area where a thumb stud just would have been better. So either make it a full hole or a thumb stud. It's not something I don't like because it works fine, and I don't think it hinders the kind of ability of the knife. But, you know, it's something I don't mind. And then obviously, as I mentioned, carbon fiber is slick. It's kind of the way things go with the carbon fiber. It's just going to be slick, like I talked about with that Benchmade before. It's just a slick material, so if you want something that looks kind of high class as carbon fiber, you're going to get a slick blade. That's just kind of how it rolls. So, okay, let's move on to what I don't like. Just one thing I think is really quite a good blade. Look at how high that pocket clip rides. I mean, that's a lot sticking out. You know, let's compare it to this, which I complained about the pocket clip too. Again, it's one of those things. These two, oh, get that on camera. They're gonna ride pretty high in your pocket. I don't know. Some knife companies, it seems like that's all they think about. That one's not gonna ride too high. That's gonna be good. All they think about is like a super low ride pocket clip, and they go to great lengths to make sure you don't see even the tiniest bit of the blade. And then others, it's like they don't care at all. This seemed like they didn't care at all. I just don't understand the design of this pocket clip. If you take this part off, maybe just remove that, have 2 screws right here, it still wouldn't be good. But either way, the design of this is strange, and I think it rides too high. So it's something I don't really like about the blade. So would I recommend the Cold Steel Silvereye? Absolutely. I think it's a great blade. I think it's, again, one of those blades that reaches a good balance of being very handsome and also very robust and very usable. And that's just a great balance to find in a blade. So guys, pick one up if you like this. If this is something that connects with you, let me know what you'd like to see reviewed in the next coming videos, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.